In this video, we are going to learn about the key definitions of statistics. What are the types of statistics? What are the types of data? What is normal distribution? And we are also going to discuss about the scales of measurement and types of variables. Statistics is the collection of data and organizing it in a manner through which we can solve problems. There are three types of statistics: applied, descriptive, and inferential. Applied statistics is in which we use statistics to solve our research problems. It includes planning for the collection of data, managing and analyzing data, interpreting and drawing conclusions from the data, and also identifying problems and solutions. Descriptive statistics deals with describing the data, what our data is, and it also tells us about the features of the data. For example, graphs, frequency, and measures of central tendency. It also includes measures of dispersion. Inferential statistics, in which we provide conclusions of the data. When we are generalizing our results of the population based upon the given sample, it is called inferential statistics. As we know that inferential statistics is when we generalize our data from the population to the sample. So now what population is? Population is the larger group of people with the similar characteristics. So as we all know that we cannot study a very larger group of population, for example, youth group. So we take out a small subset of a sample from that population with the similar characteristics to study. The data is categorized in two types while doing researches. One is parametric data and the other is non-parametric data. Parametric data is normal data. It is considered as the normal distribution. Plus the homogeneity of variance is present in this and it is in interval scale. While the non-parametric data is the skewed data. And the data is in the ordinal or nominal scale, plus homogeneity of variance is absent in non-parametric data. So I'm going to explain later in this video that what is normal distribution and what is skewed data. Normal distribution is the distribution in which there is same values on both sides of the curve, which means that the value of skewness and kurtosis must be 0. Also, the data should be gathered from more than 30 individuals, and the normal distribution is always symmetrical. Skewness is the cluster of frequent scores at one end of the scale and the frequency of scores tailing off towards other end of the scale. It can be positively skewed or negatively skewed data. While the kurtosis can be platykurtic or leptokurtic. Platykurtic means that the distribution has many scores in the tails and so is quite flat. While the leptokurtic is that they are relatively thin in the tails and so look quite pointy. Now we are going to discuss the measurement and data display. Measurement is assignment of numbers to objects or events according to predetermined rules. We have three types of numbers. Nominal numbers. Nominal numbers are the numbers that are used to name the data. Ordinal numbers are the numbers used for ranking the data, such as positions in the classroom. While cardinal numbers are the numbers that represent the quantity of the sample, such as weight of a student. Now, the four types of scales of measurements are mentioned here. The first is the nominal scale, which is also known as categorical scale, which is used for naming objects, not telling its quantity, but they categorize the data. For example, gender and economic status. The second is ordinal scale. In this, the measured numbers are used, however, in limited sense quantitatively, for example, assigning positions to students in classroom. The third is interval scale. This scale is based on the cardinal numbers, represent quantity. It provides numerically equal distances on the scale, for example, if you are measuring height. And the last is ratio scale. It is used when there is a true zero and equal intervals between the given points, for example in the measurement of length and area. Now, as we know that in researches and statistics we deal with the variables. So the variable is attribute or the characteristics that we are measuring or observing and recording the data for. For example, it can be age, gender, income, or the treatment. There are different types of variables. The first is quantitative variables, which includes discrete and continuous variables. Discrete variable is the one that typically increments from whole numbers to another whole number. For example, 20 females and 30 males in a given data. The second is continuous variables. Interval scales is considered in continuous variables. Theoretically have infinite numbers of points between any two numbers, for example, our age. Independent variables are the variables which we can manipulate and show as the cause, while the dependent variables are the outcome or the result of the experiment.